Happy Sunday and happy Psalm 31 day. I am so excited to have you here reading the word with me today. And I have to say, it's been interesting. I take Sundays very slow. Sometimes I sleep in a little. I usually do the sauna and the cold plunge before I get ready for church. I let the kids sleep in if they're here. Today was a little different. I just was tired. And so I woke up slowly. I did not do the sauna and the cold plunge today. Instead, I just had some coffee. I read the word. Watched a little TV, very sluggish this morning after taking care of the dogs, got ready, went to church, had some great time with my grandparents. My grandpa's 90 and my grandma is 88. So I just consider it a privilege when I get to spend time with them. And today was one of those days. Grandma was sick last week, and so we're just kind of getting home. And it's been a busy day, but it's been a good day. Kimani's sister and his biological father is in town, so he's spending some time with them. And I was excited to jump in the Word and share with you how the Lord spoke to me, and I can't wait to hear how He spoke to you. So, as always, if you haven't read Psalms 31, I ask that you pause this and go check that out and then jump back in here with us. I love when church lines up with what I'm reading in the Word, and I find that the Lord just has a great sense of humor. So that, or maybe He knows me so well that I have to hear things a couple times before the message is glaringly clear. But my pastor today has been talking about hidden battles, and he's been talking about a spirit of Absalom. He's been talking about the spirit of Jezebel. And today he continued to talk about a spirit of Absalom, which is one of David's sons, if you didn't know that. And that's interesting in and of itself because here I am in Psalms 31, and we believe the writer of today's psalm is David, and it has been David for almost all the psalms we've read up to this point. And so I always love to kind of have a little context of what I'm reading. And again, for those of you that maybe didn't already have that, there's so many resources out there, whether you find Bible companions or you just look it up on the World Wide Web. Hey, give me a little context of where we are, who the author of Psalms 31 is. I always love to have a little bit of that. And so today, as I read Psalms 31, the scripture that stood out to me was verse 9, 10, and then verse 24. So I will cover that with you today. And I am reading, I believe, in the New King James Version. Yep, the New King James Version. It says, "Have mercy on me, O Lord, for I am in trouble." I wonder what he's in trouble for. Is he in trouble because Saul is chasing after him? Is he in trouble because uh, one of his sons, was trying to overthrow him? There's just a lot of dynamics going on in David's life. And I don't have those specifics, but I hear David saying, "Have mercy on me, O Lord, I am in trouble." When we are in trouble, whether it is self-inflicted or whether it is somebody else's doing, I'll tell you, the only place for us to go when we're in trouble is directly to the feet of Jesus. And we see David doing that today. He even goes so far as to say, "My eyes are wasted with grief, my soul and my body. My life is spent with grief and my years with sighing." Lately, Kimani, when he gets up in the morning, he does a lot of this. And I know there's times too where whatever it is I'm going through, whatever it is I'm feeling or experiencing, sometimes the only thing to do is to just sigh. So I find myself being able to relate with David using these words to describe the kind of pain he's being overcome with. He's spent his life with grief, years with sighing. My strength fails me because of my iniquity. So he's actually taking ownership here. He's saying, because of my sin, he's taking ownership here. My bones are wasting away. Something I think that's important to just say here is there have been times in my life where things that have happened to me, things have been done to me, and it feels as though the other person's getting away with it. And the reality is sometimes we don't know if they're getting away with it. But one thing I believe the word tells us time and time again is, even if we can't see with our visible eye, in our experience the justice that's happening on our behalf, make no mistake, there may be internal suffering happening. So if David is admitting to um, his strength failing because of his own sin and his bones wasting away, I think that's such a great description of what happens when somebody's caught up in sin or when someone has hurt someone, whether justice seems to have prevailed yet or not. We are going to carry the weight of our sin. Somebody that has done something to you, make no mistake, you may not be able to see it. They may do a pretty good job of covering it up if you happen to see them on a regular basis. But make no mistake, they feel the weight of their sin. The consequence of their sin alone is being carried in their body. No matter how much they're trying to pretend like they're great, they're doing fine. But as many of us know, whether our strength is failing because of our own sin or whether our strength is failing because something someone has done to us. Now, here's where I just want to be really transparent. There were seasons when I was going through my divorce where I didn't even feel like I could walk or live any longer. Um, I didn't feel like I was going to make it through physically speaking. I don't know when you hear David's giving this kind of a description of how heavy his grief is, if something comes to mind. Maybe it's the loss of someone you love. Maybe it is the end of your marriage, like mine. Maybe it's a child that is no longer in your life, or even sometimes what it feels like with Kimani going back to live with his mom when Cyrus there was a time where Cyrus and I weren't speaking and I was just heartbroken about it. And maybe y'all are like me, maybe you're not. I tend to like to push my grief down a bit, like as in, hey, I'll deal with that at another time. But there's also a funny way of the more we try to push off grief, we're going to have to deal with it. No matter how much we try to kick it down the road, I guess is a good way to say it. We're going to have to deal with it at some time. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. And so sometimes I think the reason my healing post divorce and some of the parts that don't feel healed yet have taken so long or feels to have taken so long is because I tried to push off grieving because you can't heal a feeling that you're not willing to feel. I've learned that the hard way. And I just love how transparent David is here. Um, he's so transparent. Have mercy on me, Lord. I am in trouble. My eyes waste away with grief. That just brought sadness. I felt sadness there because I felt that kind of grief before. Um, my whole soul, my whole body, I feel like I've spent my life with grief. I've spent years sighing, just heartbroken, physically ill, might be another way to say that or hear that. My strength fails me because of my iniquity. He's taking ownership for his own sin, and my bones waste away. Oh, what do you do when you feel that way? What do you do when you're waiting for the Lord to answer or to heal or to restore or just, well, maybe it's not about restoring, maybe it's about healing because there is no restoration. Regardless, what do you do when that's how you feel? I love how transparent David is because I believe it really can help us know what to do when we feel like that. At the very end of this chapter, he says, Oh, love the Lord, all you saints, for the Lord preserves those of us who are faithful and he repays those who are not. He's saying, be of good courage. Whether the grief you're feeling is self-inflicted or whether it's due to somebody else's behavior, be of good courage because the Lord will strengthen your heart. For those of us that hope in the Lord, He will give us strength. I just love that reminder. And as I think of a handful of people that, if I'm not careful, I carry people's burdens. I was never meant to carry people's burdens. My job is to bring those burdens on behalf of those I love to the Lord, and I cast those burdens on Him. He can carry those burdens. I cannot. And so, just another thought of how you could apply this today. If you're somebody that feels that, or you know someone who does, pray for them or yourself. I pray that so and so would be of good courage and that you would strengthen their heart. I pray that those of us that hope in you, Lord, we know you will strengthen our hearts. Lord, help. us to be of good courage. Help me to be of good courage. Help them to be of good courage. Strengthen our heart, Lord. If you're carrying the weight of what someone else is walking through right now, maybe it's a child, maybe it's a family member, maybe it's a loved one going through some bad health, maybe it's a loved one doing things or participating in things that, as much as you wish they wouldn't, they are, and you can't make them or force them to stop doing anything. You could ask the Lord, you can put, you can ask the Lord to strengthen your heart in this season and put your hope in the Lord, not man. Put your hope in the Lord. That's what I see David teaching us today because he's definitely, um, I am like a broken vessel. Um, Fear is on every side. People are out to get me. But as for you, I trust you, oh God. You are my God. I put my hope in you. And that's what he's reminding us here at the end. Put our hope in you. So today, no matter what it is you're facing, I know for me, I needed this encouragement. Cami, be of good courage. The Lord will strengthen your heart because you hope in him. My hope is in you, Lord. Strengthen my heart and be of good courage. I love that encouragement today. Woo! All right, tomorrow's Psalm 32, and I can't wait to see you here.